Welcome, gents. Bullying a Sigma male is like trying to push a shadow. It might seem easy at first, but it quickly becomes clear that you're wasting your time and probably digging yourself into a deeper hole. Sigma males are wired differently. They don't fit the usual mold, which means typical tactics to pressure or belittle them don't work. They're not playing by the same rules, and they're certainly not seeking anyone's approval. So, if you think intimidation or manipulation is an option, think again. It's not just about them being unshakable, it's about their ability to flip the entire situation on its head without breaking a sweat. Here's where things get interesting. Bullying them doesn't just fail, it backfires, often in ways you never expected. We are starting with number 12. You can't intimidate a free agent. Bullying usually works by exploiting fear, the fear of losing status, approval, or social belonging. Most people, whether they realize it or not, care deeply about how others see them. They play by certain unspoken rules, trying to stay within the good graces of their social circle. But Sigma males, they don't play by those rules because they're free agents. They don't owe anyone anything, and they certainly aren't motivated by the need for approval. You can't intimidate someone who doesn't fear losing what you're threatening to take. Sigma males have opted out of the game entirely. They don't rely on others for validation. They don't seek belonging in the usual sense, and they don't care about climbing some social ladder. So, what are you going to take from them? Nothing you can offer holds value in their eyes, and that's what makes them immune to intimidation. While others might feel cornered by the prospect of social exclusion or being publicly embarrassed, a Sigma male is indifferent. Their independence is their strength. They define success and worth on their own terms, meaning your threats or attempts to humiliate them fall flat. When you try to intimidate a Sigma male, you quickly realize you have no leverage. They're free from the usual societal strings that tie people down, and as a result, they walk through life with a quiet, unshakable confidence that can't be bullied or coerced. Number 11. They operate outside of ego, so you can't bruise it. When you try to attack a Sigma male's ego, you're in for a rude awakening. Unlike most people, their sense of self isn't tied to external validation. They don't measure their worth by praise, recognition, or approval from others. In fact, they've likely spent years detaching themselves from these common social hooks. So, if you think an insult or criticism is going to cut deep, you're mistaken. It'll bounce right off because you're aiming at something that doesn't exist. Sigma males operate from a place of internal validation. Their confidence comes from within, built on their own values and personal standards. They don't need to prove anything to anyone, and that's what makes them so untouchable in this regard. Most people are vulnerable because they're constantly seeking approval, afraid of losing status or being judged. Sigma males have already opted out of this game. You can't bruise what isn't there. When you try to hit their pride, all you're doing is showing your own dependence on ego. Meanwhile, they remain steady, completely unfazed. Your insults might hurt someone who craves validation, but to a Sigma male, they're just noise, irrelevant and ineffective. In fact, your efforts only highlight how much they've outgrown the need for external recognition, while you're still stuck playing the same tired game. The truth is they don't care, and that's their greatest strength. Number 10. They're masters of psychological judo. When it comes to handling insults or jabs, Sigma males are like skilled martial artists practicing psychological judo. Instead of crumbling under pressure, they take what you throw at them and turn it back on you with stunning precision. Your attempts to undermine them become a setup for their counterattack, and before you know it, you're the one feeling off balance. Imagine this: you hurl an insult, expecting it to hit hard and shake their confidence. But instead of reacting defensively, they process your words and flip the narrative, using your own energy against you. They might respond with a calm observation or a clever twist that highlights the absurdity of your attempt, leaving you reeling. What you thought would be a simple confrontation becomes an intricate dance where you unwittingly provide the fuel for their response. This isn't just cleverness, it's a strategic mastery of emotional dynamics. Sigma males don't just withstand the pressure, they thrive in it. They understand that conflict can be a game, and they've mastered the rules. By reframing the conversation and redirecting your energy, they put you in a position where you're questioning your motives and actions. In the end, you walk away from the encounter feeling disoriented, wondering how the tables turned so quickly. While you aimed to intimidate or provoke, they turned the moment into an opportunity for insight and self-reflection, leaving you with a nagging feeling that perhaps you're the one who's been caught off guard. Number 9. You'll become irrelevant faster than you realize. When you try to bully a Sigma male, you're setting yourself up for a swift and unexpected realization. Your actions and presence simply don't matter to him. Bullies often rely on attention and thrive on controlling the social dynamics around them. They feed off the reactions of others, using intimidation or manipulation to establish dominance. But with a Sigma male, this approach completely backfires. Sigma males don't care about the usual status games that many people are caught up in. They aren't interested in impressing others, nor do they seek validation from the crowd. When you try to exert control over them, you quickly find that it's like trying to grab smoke. There's nothing there for you to grasp onto. They don't engage, and more importantly, they don't react the way you expect. What you don't realize at first is that your relevance to the Sigma male is non-existent. He operates in a world of his own, governed by his own rules and values. By the time you've tried to make yourself a dominant force in his life, he's already moved on, leaving you behind. Your attempts to belittle or control him fall flat because he simply doesn't care. In this way, your significance fades fast and you're left irrelevant, wondering why your usual tactics failed. The Sigma male's indifference makes you invisible in his world, faster than you could have anticipated. Thank you for being a valued subscriber. Your ongoing support is greatly appreciated and motivates us to continue creating meaningful content. We truly value your engagement. Number 8. He's already outsmarted you. By the time you attempt to bully a Sigma male, he's already several steps ahead of you. Sigma males are naturally analytical and highly observant, always assessing situations with a keen eye for detail. They tend to think deeper than most, reading between the lines and understanding not just what's happening, but why it's happening. This means that before you even make your move, they've likely anticipated it. A Sigma male's mind is constantly working, processing information and strategizing how best to navigate the world around him. He doesn't react impulsively or emotionally, but with calculated precision. So when you try to bully him, he's already figured out not just how to counter your actions, but how to make them irrelevant entirely. Instead of engaging with you on your terms, he'll find ways to neutralize your efforts without giving you the satisfaction of a confrontation. What makes this so frustrating for a bully is that the Sigma male doesn't need to fight back openly. He'll quietly dismantle your attempts to control or intimidate him, often without you even realizing it. While you're focused on asserting dominance, he's already outsmarted you, leaving you scrambling to keep up. Ultimately, by the time you try to take him on, he's already rendered your actions meaningless, making you feel powerless without ever needing to lift a finger. Number 7. You'll learn nothing from the encounter. When you try to bully a Sigma male, you're setting yourself up for a disappointing realization. You'll learn nothing from the encounter. Bullies typically seek validation or a sense of superiority from their actions, expecting that their intimidation will boost their ego. However, with a Sigma male, you won't find the satisfaction or recognition you're after. Instead of reacting the way you hope, by showing fear or submission, he'll simply remain unfazed. His emotional independence means he isn't swayed by your attempts at control. As a result, you won't walk away feeling victorious or empowered. Instead, you'll likely be left scratching your head, trying to figure out why your tactics fell flat. The Sigma male doesn't give you the reactions that fuel your sense of superiority. While you may have thought your bullying would prove your power, he's already moved past your petty games, leaving you confused and frustrated. In his world, your actions hold no significance, which only amplifies your sense of failure. In the end, you won't gain the validation or confidence you were seeking. Instead, you'll be left with an uncomfortable reminder of your own shortcomings. Your encounter with a Sigma male serves as a wake-up call, highlighting not just your inability to intimidate him, but also the emptiness of your own motivations. It's a humbling experience that offers no rewards, just a stark realization of your own limitations. Number 6. You'll expose your own insecurity. When you attempt to bully a Sigma male, what you're really doing is putting your own insecurities on full display. Sigma males are highly perceptive, and they can easily see through any facade of strength or control that you're trying to project. Instead of making yourself appear powerful or dominant, your actions reveal the opposite: a deep need for validation and a desire to assert control where you feel you lack it. A Sigma male doesn't buy into typical power dynamics, so your efforts to belittle or intimidate him won't land as you expect. He's not looking to compete for social status or recognition, so trying to knock him down only shows how much you care about those things. It becomes painfully clear that you're trying to mask your own feelings of inadequacy by targeting someone who simply doesn't care about the same games. What's worse is that to a Sigma, these actions will come across as petty and desperate. Your attempts to assert dominance or control will be seen as the shallow maneuvers of someone who lacks confidence. While you're busy trying to break him down, he's quietly observing and likely feeling even more assured in his own path. In the end, bullying a Sigma male only exposes your own weaknesses, highlighting the insecurity that drives your need to control others. Number 5. They're not afraid of conflict, just bored by it. You might assume that a Sigma male avoids conflict out of fear or reluctance, but you'd be dead wrong. The truth is, they don't fear conflict, they just find it boring. Most confrontations are repetitive, predictable, and offer little in terms of real growth or insight. So, while others may get caught up in the adrenaline of a heated exchange, a Sigma male is more likely to be quietly unimpressed by the entire ordeal. Sigma males see conflict for what it usually is, a waste of time. Arguments, power struggles, and ego-driven battles rarely lead anywhere productive. To them, engaging in petty disputes is like participating in a never-ending cycle of useless drama. Why bother? They have bigger things to focus on, more meaningful goals to pursue, and deeper thoughts occupying their mind. But don't mistake their disinterest for weakness. If you push a Sigma male too far, they won't shy away from standing their ground. They won't engage unless absolutely necessary, but when the situation calls for it, they'll deal with the conflict efficiently, without hesitation. What makes them different is that they don't waste energy on pointless bickering or power plays. They're not afraid of the fight. They just don't see the value in participating unless the stakes are worth it. In essence, you won't intimidate a Sigma male into submission because they see conflict for what it is, tedious. And if they're forced into it, they'll handle it with calm precision, not emotional reaction. Number 4, you're giving them valuable data, and you don't even know it. When you try to bully a Sigma male, you're actually handing them a detailed map of your psyche without even realizing it. Every insult, jab, or attempt to undermine them gives them a clearer picture of who you are, what drives you, where you're insecure, and how you think. Sigma males are naturally observant. While you're busy throwing your best shots, they're quietly analyzing your behavior. They aren't reactive, so you won't see them flinch or get upset. Instead, they'll let you dig your own hole while they learn everything they need to know about you. This isn't some kind of passive revenge, it's pure strategy. Sigma males don't waste their energy on unnecessary conflicts, but they're always looking for the best way to deal with a problem, whether it's avoiding it or dismantling it with precision. By the time you think you've gotten under their skin, they've already gathered all the information they need to either sidestep your attacks in the future or take you down in ways you didn't see coming. The worst part, you'll never know it's happening. Their calm exterior masks the fact that they're studying you like a chessboard, moving pieces in their head while you think you're winning. In the end, your attempts to dominate them only serve to give them the upper hand. And by then, it's too late. Number 3, they'll derail your narrative. Bullies often work off a script, whether they realize it or not. They follow a predictable formula: insult, intimidate, and then dominate. It's a pattern they've used on countless others, and it usually gets them what they want: control. But when they try this routine on a Sigma male, everything falls apart. Sigma males don't play by these rules. They don't engage in the usual back and forth or rise to the bait like most people would. Instead, they derail your entire narrative before it even gets started. The strength of a Sigma male lies in their unpredictability. You think you've got them figured out, that they'll respond like everyone else, but they don't. When you try to insult or provoke them, they either stay completely indifferent or respond in a way that's so unexpected, it leaves you grasping for what to do next. It's like trying to hold on to water. The more you try to force them into your storyline of control, the faster it slips away. Without a predictable response, the whole dynamic crumbles. Bullies need people to follow their script, react, get upset, fight back, so they can maintain dominance. Sigma males take that power away by refusing to participate. The result? You end up confused, off balance, and unable to proceed because they've dismantled the very structure you rely on. Trying to control a Sigma male is like trying to lead a dance with someone who's already left the floor. Number 2. He never gives you what you crave. When it comes to dealing with bullies, one thing is clear. They thrive on reactions. They feed off the emotions they provoke, whether it's fear, anger, or a sense of submission. They expect a response, and that response fuels their sense of power. But when they encounter a Sigma male, their game changes entirely. Sigma males don't play into the drama. Instead, they create a complete vacuum of interest, leaving bullies baffled and unsatisfied. Imagine throwing insults, expecting to see frustration or fear in your target's eyes. Instead, you're met with calm indifference. It's like trying to ignite a fire in a rainstorm. No matter how much effort you put in, there's simply no spark. The Sigma male doesn't give you the satisfaction of a reaction. They offer a tranquil void where your aggression has no effect. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a strategic choice. As the bully ramps up their efforts, hoping to elicit some emotional response, they find themselves increasingly confused. Their insults fall flat, and their attempts to dominate only highlight their lack of power. You're left feeling unsatisfied, craving that visceral reaction you typically harvest from others. But with a Sigma male, that response is absent, making your efforts feel futile. In this dynamic, the Sigma male has flipped the script. They leave you questioning your methods and motivations, and in the end, your attempts to provoke them only serve to expose how little control you actually have. The silence they provide is more powerful than any shout, and it's that absence of reaction that can be the most disorienting of all. Number 1. They operate on a level of strategy you can't access. When you attempt to bully a Sigma male, you quickly realize that your tactics are playing a different game altogether. Most bullying relies on basic surface-level strategies, insults, intimidation, and immediate emotional reactions. But for Sigma males, this is child's play. They operate on a level of strategy that's far more intricate, navigating a complex web of thoughts and motivations that you simply can't access. While you might be focused on short-term victories, throwing verbal jabs in hopes of eliciting a reaction, Sigma males are looking at the bigger picture. They're not just reacting to what's happening right now. They're assessing the entire landscape, considering how every move can affect the future. To them, your attempts to bully are like playing checkers against someone engaged in a game of chess. They recognize that every piece on the board has its purpose and potential, and they're skilled at maneuvering those pieces to their advantage. Your quick insults might seem clever in the moment, but to a Sigma male, they are nothing more than distractions. They see through the immediate drama to the underlying motivations, understanding that you're trying to assert control in a way that lacks depth. This deeper understanding allows them to anticipate your moves, creating a strategic counter that keeps you off balance. In the end, while you're caught up in petty exchanges, they're calculating how to outmaneuver you in ways you can't even begin to comprehend. Their ability to see beyond the present moment makes your tactics feel flat and ineffective, and you're left feeling lost in a game you didn't know you were playing. In summary, trying to bully a Sigma male is not just a poor strategy, it's an exercise in futility. Unlike most people, they don't crave validation or fear social repercussions. Their independence and self-assurance make them nearly impervious to the tactics that typically work on others. When you hurl insults, you may find that they effortlessly redirect your negativity, leaving you feeling lost and confused. Rather than feeling intimidated, a Sigma male will remain unfazed, often choosing not to engage at all. This indifference not only frustrates bullies, but also reveals their own weaknesses in stark relief. Every attempt to assert control only highlights how little power you actually have over someone who operates on a different wavelength. The game of dominance and submission simply doesn't apply to them. Ultimately, if you're looking for a reaction, you won't find it here. Instead, you'll be left standing on the sidelines, watching as your attempts to provoke fall flat. In a world where many seek validation through confrontation, Sigma males quietly dismantle that narrative, proving that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it's a quiet confidence that leaves others questioning their own motives. So save your energy. You'll get far more out of life by focusing on constructive interactions than by trying to undermine someone who simply won't play along. Thanks for tuning in, gents. Bye for now and see you in the next video. Take care and God bless.